Welcome. We have, which I'm trying to somewhat make as a monthly tradition, as where we do a ranks or tier list. And I was just inspired about a good few days ago in trying to do a ranking of the Sonic CD OSTs. Now, there are two versions of Sonic CD's music. We have the US version, and then we also have the Japanese version. Are you guys able to see my screen, by the way?
I see it.
Okay, good.
Mhm.
Most of what you guys need to really worry about is just the musical selection, and I believe everybody in was it uh, Twitch chat can actually hear. Hopefully, hopefully it registers. I think it should. But we are going to listen to each of these songs. I'll do one good loop, not the extra loop. We'd be here forever if we try to listen to two loops of each of these tracks. We're first going to do it for the sake of sanity. We're going to do the Japanese version first, and then we'll do the American version afterwards. And both have a distinct flavor to it. Now, how we're going to be ranking this is from one, was it 5 stars being the highest. So 5 is great. We think the song is perfect. 4 is it's good. 3 is it's all right. 2 is could be way better. It's not that good. And 1 is trash. Okay. One of the things that we're going to be looking for here is one, does it fit the setting that we're being told it's supposed to be? And 2, does it just sound downright good? Now, biases being aside, whenever we hear a track, we're going to start from past to present into future. And the way that the game is structured in Sonic CD is that there is one core past that apparently the past is the Japanese track. There is no American past track. For some reason, they just kept the Japanese past track, and it's consistent across the board. Present and future. There is a present that is both sides have their own tracks. Future has a good future and a bad future. Ben, for the context of how those futures work in the game, if you go to the past and destroy a robot machine that Eggman put in the past, you will make the bad future good future. And typically you have everything that comes with it. Okay, are you following along?
I am nodding my head.
Okay, that that doesn't mean anything.
I understand. Doesn't understand.
So we're gonna start with the main theme. Now, I am a little biased because I grew up here in the States, but I do have some Japanese tracks that I feel are superior. So, like I said, we're gonna start from the Japanese version, and then we're gonna have the American version go
In
after
that
it.
case, you're gonna want to go to the other tab.
Yeah. So the originator. Oh, great, they don't have it here. What?
There, just look up Toot Sonic War.
Let's see. Ah, right here, right here. This is the theme for Sonic CD in Japan. So take a look at this, or listen to this. Oh, you could hear that, right?
No,
You cannot hear that?
no,
I paused it. Hold on. Wait, let me do it again. Okay, did you hear that?
no.
No.
Can you, Ben?
Nope, it's nada.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
we could switch over to Twitch really briefly before hopping back onto Discord, I guess.
That would make things way too confusing. Okay, so I know what would make things a lot easier. I would just switch the screens that you guys are seeing. You're not going to be looking at the Discord, the thing I capture with this one. So you guys are going to see real fast here what I've been seeing with Explodes here. Hold on one second. We'll switch screens, share the screen. We'll change windows, and we'll have it right here. That would be a lot easier for you guys to see. There you go. That way you guys can see this one and get the audio from it. Okay, we're gonna do one more test.
There we go.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So we'll pass it up here, and then we'll start over. So this is again the Japanese intro for Sonic CD. We'll go in this order. We'll go from the least Sonic fan, Ben, to the middle Sonic fan, which is Explodes, and then the true Sonic fan, which is me. We'll do it in that order. So when it's done, we'll refer straight to Ben.
You can go again. Don't fall behind. Say don't be late. Destination heaven. Say alive. Now you and me. We're going to have fun. Say, lights off. Excalibur. It's about that bar. What do you mean? Give it take. Going home. Time zone. Check it out, eh?
Okay. Ben,
That would have been better for an anime rather than an anime style opening.
That's
to a
what I was
game.
gonna say.
yeah, it
The little
sounded like
bits of
something
music.
straight out of Trigun, dude, from like that era.
No. The thing is, it's like, hold on. This thing felt like the Space Jam like remix thing that was released that says like everybody get up and
Yeah.
it had those other bits too. It's like this has hip hop, rap, 80s rock ballad,
Mhm.
and it's an anime opening style. It's like, damn. I mean, somehow they put it all together.
It's
The more-
great, it's just not fitting. I'd have to give it a
I-
rating. I have to wait for.
Yeah, go for Ben. Go for Ben. I want to influence Ben's
Yeah,
decision.
you're good. Honestly, the beat was good enough. The whole do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I thought that was honestly appropriate enough, considering it's a game about a running hedgehog. So I felt that was all right. Plus, the main line, whoever she was singing, she honestly, it sounded good from her singing it. The rap bits were,
Cheese at this point.
but like I said,
Those parts
it
didn't
felt-
make much sense.
it felt like 80s and 90s, but it felt like a clash and not the best kind. So honestly, I can't even say it's a 4. I'd say 3.5. I mean, decent enough, but there's enough of a clash at the beginning to kind of make me go, okay, what kind of kaleidoscope am I listening through with my ears here?
All right, explodes. Go for it. What's your
3.
yeah 3?
A solid 3. It's not as. The opening itself with the rapping is just kind of all over the place on what it's trying to say. It turns
Here we
it to the
go.
good stuff until it goes to Sonic Warrior.
Yeah, it's a simple rap, don't get me wrong, it's just a rap, and then you have the 80s synth and a bit of a rock ballad and strings guitar, but then the actual song comes on, it's like, okay, this is the meat. This
I
is what we
haven't-
need.
I haven't heard this song. I'm assuming 3 is going to be Explode's final answer on that one. But for me specifically, I grew up with the other version. When I heard this one, I didn't think of. I wasn't really into anime quite yet. But as I listen to it now with you guys, the first thing that thought to my mind is like anime OST intro for the title opening, and I'm like, yeah. And I agree with Explodes. The words at the before it don't make much sense in context. But they got Sonic Boom in there, and I probably feeling that that's the reason, that was the basis when us silly Americans got our hands on the game and were like, let's make a song all about that one word they used. Or sorry, those 2 words they used. I will say, I'm going to be a little bit more generous. I'm going to give it a 4. Just because it hits that itch, I think, that I have for some of the modern day tracks, where you feel like nowadays when you hear musical openings, it never feels like it's made specifically for the game. And if this has a lot of anime trash in there, and I love it. So I will be a little bit more generous this time and
we
say
trash
4.
an anime now.
Okay, so this is this is the American opening. You guys are probably more aware of this, but we'll let this one play out. I'll most likely, we'll play the opening version because that's one's just a minute long. So yeah, let's go ahead and listen to that one.
If you're strong, you can fly, you can reach the other side of the rainbow. It's alright, take a chance, 'cause there is no circumstance that you can't handle. When you use your mind, Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom, keeps you running faster. Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom, save the planet from disaster. From the dark to the light, it's a supersonic flight. Gotta keep it going. Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom, keeps you running faster. Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom, save the planet from disaster. Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom, spinning through the world in motion. Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom.
So yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now,
Wow.
before you get to your rank, this better be in Sonic 4. I'm gonna just say that right now. This better be in Sonic 4. the movie.
A remastered version. No, I'm telling you, that would actually be slapping as hard. Look, if you can bring back Come Together from the Beatles into a Justice League movie, if you can remaster that, you can remaster this, because Beatles are older. Anyways, my thoughts. This feels like it should fit like on an 8-bit arcade version. Like, I can imagine this literally playing in the background of an arcade game. And that's perfect because it seems a bit more true to form, if that makes sense. It's not trying to be a whole lot of other things. There could have been more, if I'm being honest. But at least the tone was about consistent. I mean, synth 80s rock ballad to a degree. It's like, it didn't feel as much like an anime opening. It felt more like a commercial. But you know what? That's about as fair as I can go for an American version. Let's face it, we're all about commercials. Hey, YouTube.
So what's your score on that one?
I mean, sorry. Advertisement. As for score, it has to be a 4. Yeah, it's not as flashy as the last one, and at least they put that much effort into it. But again, tone is consistent. It sounds good, and it's decent enough. I feel it fits.
All right, Explodes.
All right, so it's definitely got. It still gets some blood pumping, not as in your face, but it actually tells you what you're up against. It tells you what you're going to do. It's just fits Sonic so much more. And as for the score, let's count.
Where's the one Knuckles where he just constantly rapid fires?
Anyways, yeah, that was 5 of them.
Yeah.
We spoke over the last one.
But Knuckles is not in this game. I understand. I will gladly agree. If I could do more than 5, I would say that this was a song I remember listening to back when I was a small kid, and people, my extended family made fun of me for that. But looking back, who's laughing now?
It's basically the one song Americans can actually agree is better.
Yeah, Sonic CD, the Sonic Boom, is, I think, far more superior because, like Explode said, and I hate to be parroting, but you seem to be taking my my reasons as well. Sonic Boom tells you what you're doing, and it feels more directly in tone with the whole time travel bit. You know, you're there to go stop the planet from getting into a huge amount of disaster. That's exactly what you're doing. You're going to Little Planet, which is the setting for this game, and you're trying to save the future without, oppressive time travel shenanigans that we have nowadays. It's very self-contained, and for that, it gets a 5 out of 5 for me. It sounds so much better than the other one. It's a lot slower, I get it, but it's a lot more direct and to the point, and it's very catchy. So that is my reason for it. Okay, so with that out of the way, that's going to be already the American OST is already ahead. Let's see how long that lasts. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this. You guys see the screen right here?
Mountains.
Yeah, I have this thing here. I could pretty much scrub through all these. This guy had all the Sonic CD soundtracks restored him. We're not going to go through this one, but I wanted to give you context of what the level looks like, more or less, from the background per se. So we're going to go through each zone. Like I said, we're going to start from the past, and this is the past. The name of the stage is called Palm Tree Panic, and it is essentially a very generic not jungle, but
A beachfront.
Is it really like? It's like Green Hill, but with a bunch of palm trees.
It's kind of like Angel Island and Green Hill that had a baby.
Yeah, it's your starter for most Sonic games when you want to be like in like organic animal area. It's not really touched by technology. It's your rainforest. Would you say like rainforest-esque type place? Or
Typical starter world thing that isn't so in your face with saying like, oh hey, intelligent life. It's like, no, welcome to the world. Explore.
Run up into the air.
Yeah. So we're gonna be starting with the past. This is the past version of it, and like I said, the Japanese OST is the only one with the past shared between the Japanese and the American versions of the game. So we will be rating that on its own. So this is the past of Palm Tree Panic. Here you go. Take a listen. All right, that's as much as I will do because it's going to loop there. But there you go. And here's your context for what it looks like, which is this is the past of this area. Ben, go for it.
I mean, if it's the past, then the drums definitely help. The drums and the beat, it's not too hard, and that's fair enough when you want to start off. If this was some sort of like roid-inducing sort of like rage game, the drums would be going absolutely bonkers. But no. If this is the beginning and this is meant to be the past, then it's like no. It feels a bit tribal. It feels a bit primitive, but that's just fine considering this is the start. So it's not so much primitive as it is primary. I feel the melody outside the beat of the drums was easy enough. To be fair, it didn't sound like anything I've played before, but full disclosure, I have not ever played anything on Sega or Nintendo from the older period. I barely watched my brothers play Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo.
Oh, that's
to
no
be
problem.
fair, for some reason, when I was thinking Palm Trees, I'm just like, okay, it's like, does this remind me of something I have seen that involves this? And I was thinking like Donkey Kong Country. It's like, nope, doesn't remind me of that. So it's fairly unique. I mean, definitely not too memorable, but if we're going by if it fits and if it's okay enough, then I'd say, yeah, I'm going to say 3.5. I mean, maybe there might have been something that could have made it a little bit more memorable. Maybe quickening of the beat or something, or maybe some even more drums, but that's just me.
All right, so Explodes, you have the floor.
What was his score?
Does Palm Tree Panic passed?
No, what was his score?
Oh, that was a 3.5, I think.
Oh, okay. It kind of sounds like samba on a old record player with the gramophone or whatever. Like, I mean, it's good, but it's just not with the right instruments. Like, it's trying to be further in than it actually is. I give it a 2.
Oh, dude, you took my score too. Yeah, I'm gonna give this a 2. I know this is supposed to be the past, and I think it would have been a lot better if they would have actually gone for a different tribal sounding thing, making you feel like you were in like a prehistoric era. Because if we're looking at this as from the past perspective of a very untouched by human
The
area.
woodwinds do kind of take away from that. It's like how are there flutes back here?
Yeah. So like
maybe some chanting or something, or some sort of ooga booga.
yeah, something like that, or T-Rexes in the background, it being wailing, even though there's no T-Rexes in here. The past does not have T-Rexes, unfortunately. That would have been a cool thing to add.
This past sucks.
Yeah, the past. So I will give it a 2. I'm not a big fan of the song in general, but there's that. All right, so this over here. Now we're gonna look at this. This is the present of Palm Tree Panic. By the way, you can see that there is a lot more. I guess rigid, is that the correct word for it? Mountains in the background. You got a lot of plant vegetation. There's that ocean in the distance. So yeah, so we're gonna be listening to all these that we're going to be doing next is the Japanese version, and then we're gonna swap over to the US version afterwards. Okay, so this is Palm Tree Panic Presents from JP here. It is very distinct, and we'll take a listen to it right now. All right, well that's pretty much the entire loop. That is the present of Palm Tree Panic, Ben.
Okay, well, I'll say this: this song feels like it fits better in a Mario Kart run because that's exactly what it feels like. It feels like one of those beach moments. It feels like last one I played was on the Wii, honestly, Mario Kart Wii. But this doesn't feel like a Sonic song. It's like Nintendo.
Yeah.
Especially with the cheers and everything. I mean, the beat's fine. It doesn't sound bad, but for the thing that it's for, it's like this feels like a Mario Kart thing. I mean, I know racing is what Sonic does, but maybe I'm just biased. Then again, I am completely ignorant to all this. So for all you people that are out there that grew up on this, that then saw Mario Kart and go, he's trying to do Sonic. I'm the reverse. I'm sorry.
All right, so what's your score on that?
I mean, it doesn't sound bad. It sounds modern enough. I'd say 3, just
3 down the
because.
row. Yeah. Okay,
3.
Explodes.
All right, so it's definitely a huge step up from the past version. It's probably what they were going for. As a result, it has the full instruments. You can hear it a little echoey, though. It just feels like a full song. And as a result, I also got to give it a 3.
I'm going to give it a 3 as well. One of the things that when I think about with this, I think of roller coaster ride. Like you're going to a Six Flags, and then the reason why you have yes, you just hear people in the background going into like those little circular motions on the roller coaster. And that's anytime I think of
We're doing the wave.
Yeah, we're doing the wave. You're like you're getting your cotton candy in the distance. You hear yeah. It's like it's fine.
Doing a little dance. Doing my little dance.
Doing my little dance. But yeah, so I think it's just in the middle. I'm not too big of a fan of it. If it's to represent Palm Tree Panic, I don't necessarily believe it if it's the setting, which is the reason why it's not higher on my score. That's my reason for it. I don't think it really matches what Palm Tree Panic is. I don't get the foresty type of location with it, but that's just me. Anyway, let's move on. So what do you guys want to do? You guys want to do present, good future, and bad future, or present, bad future, and good future in that order? What do you guys prefer?
Let's go with bad.
Surprise me.
That's the default, I say.
Okay, so this is the bad future. Okay, let me show you what the bad future looks like for Palm Tree Panic. This is the bad future. This is the bad future.
Oh my God! It's Detroit.
No, it's too clean.
It's too clean. Yeah.
You're right. It's Ohio.
Ohio. Oh yeah. Okay, so this is the
Japanese. Like somebody shoot someone up that bad.
This is the Japanese Palm Tree Panic bad future. Take a listen. Okay, there you go. That's enough for the loop there. All right.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Indeed. I'll see my
Okay. To be fair, the beat did sound something like a dystopian feature, and there was enough discord within. Sorry, I actually did take like music classes a few times, so honestly, the discord does match, and it does actually seem like it's kind of wild, not entirely lawless, but it's like, oh, this is totally punk. Honestly, that beginning part felt like it belonged to a Shadow the Hedgehog kind of theme, but more for like purely arcade reasons.
Mm, mm.
I mean, if that's as bad as the future gets, then honestly, it just sounds like downtown LA, I suppose. So, you know, I can't be all that bad.
Maybe Eggman was right.
What's happening here?
Eggman did nothing wrong. Oh, well, I got a girlfriend. That's what happened.
So, what
Oh,
would
I'm
you
sorry.
give it?
What would I give it? I give it I mean, I'm not really sure. Honestly, it's fine enough. It doesn't necessarily, I mean, I'm assuming when the gameplay is going on, it doesn't necessarily distract from the gameplay. It's fine. So I guess just a 3.
Oh darn! Just realized.
I'm gonna be stuck on 3 this entire time.
Okay, Explodes, go for it.
Okay, so it sounds great. It's really, really great, but like, what makes it funnier is that you get this hard rock jamming beat, and then suddenly the guy in the corner plays the normal song,
The
it's like
clarinet.
trying to play his flute or something, and like failing because he's so nervous trying to play over these guys.
just Squidward in the future.
And the robots are mocking them by pretending to be kids. And the one thing I have flawed with this is that it's the first level. They didn't have to go this hard.
Yeah.
I give it a 4.5.
I give it a 4. I don't think it's that deserving of the 0.5, but I give it the 4 because remember what I said about the roller coaster bit? I could just imagine the bad future. There is no end to the roller coaster. They could just get chucked off the rails, and that's where you're hearing, yeah.
That's how for the clarinet was doing that. People were getting sick of it. They were up chucking over the sides of the roller coaster.
Sorry, George, we're just rating Sonic songs.
Yeah, we're ranking some of the Sonic CD songs right now. If you feel free to put a number, but I don't want to get too many people having a really big analysis right now. We're going in order of Ben, Explodes, and myself. So just to keep on consistency there. All right, so that's Bad Future.
So if you hate rankings, then hate me.
And I am here.
If you hate what I say, then please hate it.
Okay, so this is the Good Future.
Yes. Let the hate flow through you.
Okay, so this is the Good Future of Palm Tree Panic. This is the background for it. Yeah, it's more of the same. The future really hasn't changed much, but this is the Good Future OST song. So take a listen. All right, so there you go. There's your Good Future. You saved the future from
Right.
Eggman's influence, and there you go.
It's like the first modern one, but better. I don't know what my score was from the last one. I think it was a 3, I think, just 'cause I thought it was eh. This one's definitely higher. I almost want to say 4. I'll make it be a 4. It's better than the Mario theme I made it out to be earlier, because this one sounds far more triumphant, and they do a little bit more to it to give you few more things to listen to. Although the yays are still a wee bit distracting.
The roller coasters are now fixed and they work properly. There you go.
Right, the two musicians are now working together.
Yeah. So what's your score on that one, Ben?
I'll give it a 4. Also, that instead of that clarinet woodwind one from the Bad Future, they have that piano almost like keyboard synth come in instead. It's like, okay, that sounds a little bit more appropriate than a woodwind. No offense.
All right, Explodes.
As I said, it's like the two genres coming together and making some funky, fresh thing. But still the first level, so I can't give it a perfect score. So 4.9.
I give it a 3. I don't see much difference with it from the present. It's not doing anything spectacularly different than the Bad Future. I'd honestly say I like the Bad Future a little bit more on that one. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a consistent 3 on the board. All right, let's move on to the American side. So this is the American present for Palm Tree Panic. You'll notice right away, Ben, different tone. Let's give it a listen. All right, that's the end of the loop there. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going in front of Ben here. 5. I'm giving that a 5 right off the bat. It sounds.
I'm gonna have to agree with you there, almost. Here, let me just get my reasoning before my brain solidifies. Just okay, wowie kablowie. Just Jesus, that feels like proper Paul music.
Yeah.
No offense.
I
mean, yeah, it felt like something that could have been.
Level.
Hmm?
Like they didn't
I
have
mean,
to go
yeah, it had a bit more of a beat.
So they just went first level hard.
You didn't have to go. Yeah, you didn't have to go that fucking hard. First of all, the saxophone is what sold me. I go, okay, saxophone, and this feels like beach music. This felt like an anime beach filler episode kind of deal. Although, to be fair, when I heard the saxophone music, I was imagining Knuckles in the background, just holding the saxophone. I going.
Let me get specifically Boom Knuckles.
So,
specifically Boom Knuckles.
yes, either that or Sonic X. Just. Okay. Look, man has a talent somewhere. I'm sure it's not in his wonderful baritone. It's in his chops.
So that's a 5 for you, huh?
Anywho, yeah, that's a 5. Yeah, it sounds like something out of Mario, but you know what? It's just fun, and I just got lost in it. And that's what good music is supposed to do. I just got lost in it.
Explodes. Go for it, Ben.
And honestly, despite it being far superior than the modern
JP version.
Japanese version,
Yeah.
I still can only give it a 3.5. It's just the perfect amount of hype, but it's not going overboard, so I can't just.
That's fair. That's fair. We all have different opinions, even if they're wrong. I'm joking. I will say my favorite part of this is the guitar riff at the very end before it loops. I
It
love.
makes it sound a little Mexican.
I honestly don't care. It sounds good. Mexican sounds good.
I mean, if it was
It doesn't
ukulele,
sound bad, I'm just saying.
fairly
It's
different.
kind of,
Anyway, I give that a 5. I'll reiterate right there. Okay, so this is the Bad Future. We're going in that order. So This is the Bad Future US of Palm Tree Panic. Give it a listen. All right, I think that's enough before it loops again. But yeah, there you go. There's your Bad Future of Palm
How
Tree
can you
Panic.
go so hard with just such a simple beat?
I know, right?
When did we get into when did we get into a CSI Law and Order? This feels like bum 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 bum. This feels like an '80s police show.
Oh yeah,
What
yeah.
the hell?
I never
I'm
thought
just
about it.
picturing
No, don't
a
get me wrong.
Robotic slavery jungle beach.
I just
It's
think
using
this,
Not
the same
necessarily.
beat as the original song, but then you get some dystopian feels with the rest of the.
I
instruments.
know. I thought it was gonna be really, really bad, but then it started picking up, and I'm just like, oh wait, those the cowbells and the beating and everything. But then it turned into something like a chase thriller from something like The Fugitive or U.S. Marshals. Good movies, by the way.
Felt a little
But it's
tribal
just-
to me,
this
but,
felt-
like. Sorry.
Not tribal at all. I mean, it's the same motif. Don't get me wrong. I'm with you. It is the same motif. But it's what they choose to focus on instead that changes the attitude towards it. It sounds not very methodical, like mechanical, but it does give an air of uncertainty because it feels like you're on the run. Because even like with those cowbells, they give just a slight little edge. Like, you have to be on edge. You have to look over your shoulder. You have to keep on moving. Or, there's just uncertainty and unease. Again, if you watch like 90s police movies or things like that, or even late 80s ones, it's like you'll understand how I feel. So it kind of fits. I give it 5. That slaps.
all right, Explodes, go for it, man.
They do so much with so little. It's just, how can you not give it at least a 4?
A 4. I will give it a 4 as well, dude. A 4 for me. Now, I never thought about the cop angle that Ben had, but I think when I think of this, I think of Apu Apu 1, the war against Crash, and now you have these evil tribal people with everything on fire. That's what I think when I listen to this. And you're just kind of the bad future is that they won the struggle, and now everything is dominated by like really bad witchcraft and what are the things, the witch doctors and all that stuff. That's why you have like the like that. That's what I get with that one. I get
Juju.
yeah, bad juju. I agree with Ben on the idea of there's a lot of uncertainty and you're like tense, that type of thing. And that's what I believe with the bad futures are supposed to make you feel. You're supposed to feel bad for how everything turns out. So with this one, I give it a 4 though. I don't think it's. I think what makes the other Palm Tree Panic better is that guitar riff, or whatever they use the instrumentation near the end before it loops. I love that part. It does not have it here, but it's. I cannot deny it's good in its own way, but not as good. If that makes much sense. Okay. This is the good future. This is the good future of Palm Tree Panic. Remember everything I said prior. This is this is good. Yeah, there you go.
Well, all right. I mean, it didn't stand out all that much. I will say the tone is not like the last few times. It wasn't like a ramped up version of the original tune, which is honestly kind of fair enough. It felt like it was a bit more majestic, a bit more mature, and a bit more reserved to a
Hmm.
degree. Like it felt like it could say a whole lot more, but it didn't,
Yeah, it's supposed to look
which
like this in
makes the
terms of
song
that.
sound like. Yeah, well, it feels mature, like it's something that has grown a little bit older and it knows its limits now. But I say it fits. I can't say necessarily like it because it's not so memorable, but I'll say it fits. Gonna have to say it. I'll give it a solid 4.
Explodes.
Well, it feels like the previous one, but without all the dystopian, and as a result, it just kind of feels abandoned. Like nature got to have its way, and it's in peace. I give it a 3, maybe a
Yeah.
half.
I agree with you on that one. I say 3. It's not as good as the other Palm Tree Panic, the other versions. I actually jive more, and I have more of I like the Bad Future one because it makes you feel more something. This one feels like it's Palm Tree Panic present, but less. And for that, it feels like it's not as good. I would not download this and listen to it. Okay. All right.
Like the ancient ruins.
Like the ancient ruins, indeed. All right, so the next level is a place called Collision Chaos. For context, this is what the location is supposed to look like. It is well, you can't really tell because
Donkey Kong Country.
this is the back. This is more of the background, but like the actual thing is like a lot of slot machine, not slot, pinball much area.
It's the closest to the gimmick that they usually use for point farming.
Yeah, and this is the level that introduces Metal Sonic to Sonic, and is also the same area where Amy gets kidnapped by Metal Sonic. So yeah, this is like the main level that everyone goes back
Spoilers.
to. Yeah, spoilers. It's like an over 30-year-old game at this point. Okay.
That didn't have much of a plot to begin with.
here, you boomer.
All right. So the name of it is Collision Chaos. I don't really know how to describe it other than Explodes is right. It's like a pinball point farming level. There's a lot of going up and down, bouncing off. There's springs in there, but I don't know what to describe those bubbles, those bubble point thingies. There's a lot of those things. A lot of bouncing around in this one. I really don't know how to describe the location other than that, but this is Collision Chaos, and because we're doing this in the exact order, we're gonna look at how it looks from the past. So, like I said, this is the present. Let me see where the past comes in. I think this is the past right here. I think this is past version of it. Yeah, I think that's the past. Yeah, this is the past one. All right, let's give it a listen. Past version across the board. All right, there's your past of Collision Chaos. Ben, go for it.
It sounds like a Kirby song that gets bored by Earthbound.
Hey guys!
I love it. That I mean, very interesting thing, and I love the. I love the syncopation, that whole downbeat bit.
Mm-hmm.
Even with 4/4 time, syncopation is something that actually keeps you on your toes, and it's enough. I mean, the first part felt all whimsical, but then when it got a little bit more discorded and almost distorted as a result,
Yeah.
it felt like there was a sense of danger in there as well. So, if this is an introduction to Metal Sonic as well as a capture of Amy, spoilers, then honestly, it feels like the music would have cued on during that point, or at least the music might have cued on earlier. But if not, then it's like, well, there's still that air to it. So Isaiah Fifth, it's good enough. It's not that hard, although it's pretty far up there.
If you notice, though,
I'll give it.
if you'll notice in the future of these, funny, but the future of these, the past tracks end up having a less clean. They feel less like modern tracks that you've been hearing here. They're like more of like the 8-bit, 16-bit arrangements, I would say, and that's, I believe, done on purpose. Yeah.
It felt very 8-bit, but very appropriate. So I'll give it. I'm not really sure. 3.5 or a 4. I'll give it 3.5.
Nice.
It's good enough. It's just good enough.
As I said, it just sounds like one music track eating another. They're both good, but I don't think they mesh well together. I'm gonna have to give it a 2.
Ooh, first bad one. Okay, I'm gonna give it a 3. I'm the in between of you guys, mainly because I think it's good, but I think it gets better with the other versions of this track. I do like the ending before it loops. So like, I like that part. But it's definitely something I think it gets better on when you get to the other versions of this song. So let's move on. Collision Chaos Present for the Japanese version. Take a listen. All right, that pretty much goes before the loop there. But there is your present. You can already tell I like this one. But Ben, go ahead.
God damn, I'm glad I gave 3.5 to the last one. Jesus, that slapped.
Yeah.
No. That's like techno disco.
Mm-hmm.
It was beautiful. And they kept the syncopation bit too. It's like, the thing is, obviously, if it's going from past to modern to future to good or bad future, they have to keep the motif there, but it's how you deal with it later. If you keep the octaves or the key changes or things like that, it's important. But this one, the keyboards, the beats. Although, to be fair, it almost could have passed for something of a more modern version of a shouting hallelujah, preaching in church sort of deal. It felt like one of those organs.
What a weird thought process that was.
Praise be in shadow, Jesus. Anyways, I loved it. That was honestly good. That was good. 4.5.
Explodes.
Well, it was definitely more lively. It had a consistent tone. It felt like a song that knew what it was doing, and I'm gonna have to respectfully give it a 3.
3. A 3. I will say I'm gonna give it a 4, just a flat baseline 4, mainly because one thing that you guys are probably not picking up on, the printer sound effect.
Oh yeah, there was also a guy at the beginning.
Yeah, like 3, 2, 1, hit it. Yeah, that one. That's cool too. But the thing that stuck to me that I don't know if you guys had printers growing up, or your parents had printers, but there's that certain sound a printer makes when it's about to like switch into like when it starts to actually printing, like that they had here. I don't know why, but I really that there's a certain itch there at the very back of my brain when it comes to music tracks and how it goes with the beat. That sounds so good. Like it's a nice technology sound effect. I cannot describe other than it sounds really good and I like it. And the overall beat, like
Disco.
yeah, and the thing from the past that I was talking about, this I feel like it's the past but way better, and that's why I give it a 4. It's not the greatest thing. It's not Palm Tree Panic a present for, so far in terms of like really really good, but I think it is really solid and I like it, and it has a really good catchy beat for that, and that's why it gets a 4 from me. All right, let's move on. This is the Bad Future. This is Eggman controls everything, and you lost. So here is that's Palm Tree. Here is Bad Future Collision Chaos. Take a listen.
Uh-oh. My head is bobbing.
You ain't seen nothing yet, man. Get ready for this part here. Ah, there you go. All right. Go ahead, Ben. Go ahead, Ben.
No, all good. Interesting take. And that's the Bad Future. Somehow it slapped less than the last one.
Oh, I forgot what the Bad Future looks like. This is the Bad Future right here. Technology overboard.
God, never mind.
Technology overboard.
You'd think if it was a technologically overboard, then there'd be more techno stuff, but no, it just sounded more like dreary than it tried to sound like a dark victory. So yeah, it sounded good enough, but 3.
3. All right, explodes.
Not much else I need to say about it.
Okay, so you know the second episode of Samurai Jack where he falls into the city and looks around and everything's all weird?
Normally, I would say no.
Sounds like it would fit in that kind of situation.
But yeah, I agree with you. Normally I would say no, but I actually do remember that. So yeah.
It feels like that. Like you get dropped in there and you see this stuff that is weird and awful, and you gotta get back to the past. Sonic the Hedgehog. 3.5.
3.5. I will say I'm a little bit more forgiving of it. I like it. I think it's a 4. I like it. You guys can barely hear it, but there's that near the end of that section. It almost sounds like saying "fix it up," like "fix it." That to me, it's like little tiny details like that. I love it because it makes you feel like you're in a factory and you're being told to work endlessly until you die. So it has that kind of vibe for it. So I'm gonna be a little bit more generous and give it a 4. I might be the wrong one here. Anyway, so moving on. This is the Good Future.
We're all entitled to our opinions, even if they're wrong.
This is the Good Future, by the way, of Collision Chaos. You can see it's a lot more pristine and shiny. All right, so let's go ahead and take a listen to the Good Future of Collision Chaos. All right, I'm gonna stop right there. I'm gonna tell you right now, I do not like this song. I don't like it. I don't like it.
That song's way too chill, but I mean, it's not a bad kind of chill. It's just not too memorable. It does seem like it kind of melds and mushes together a bit.
It's like
Bit
they put a song
homogenized.
in a utopian future city.
Yeah,
Actually, it almost sounds like an anime ending, but very, very. Bleh.
to me it sounds like it's very ear grating with the main synth that they're using to carry the song forward. I'm not a big fan of very like hard synthy that it's not crunchy, it's more ear piercing for me, and that's why the reason why I don't like this track very much.
I don't mind it at all, honestly. I'm gonna have to cut ahead a little bit and say I'd still give it a 3.5.
What about you, Ben? Oh, did we lose Ben?
Oh, sorry about that. I muted myself. I rise once more. I was about to say, it's like, I don't know, this feels like a 2.5, but considering this is supposed to be the good future, it's like, I suppose it fits. Everything's just way too chill. I guess they legalized hemp, so we'll make it a 3 for me.
I'm gonna give it a 1. I don't like this track. I definitely do not like the track. It's that one riff, not riff, but the one primary track note they're using. Not a big fan of it. All right, now we're going to the U.S. side for Collision Chaos. Oh boy. I'm sorry.
Boy.
Yeah, this is not bode well. So this is Collision Chaos present for the U.S. side. Take a listen.
Fasten your fucking seatbelts.
All right, that is your
The
U.S.
Broncos did not do it any favors.
Yeah, DK was going overtime and he didn't need to. All right, Ben, go for
I mean, it sounded something like that. It did sound like something out of DK, but again, it sounded like an 80s cop sort of film and series. It's like, all right. No. I don't hate it. This is called Collision Chaos. It's like, this does feel like something that should be on edge, and it definitely puts you a little bit on edge. And I think the long tones of the guitar going, just adding a lot of continuance that allowed the beat to still be carried without making it seem too repetitively boring. I mean, it's fine enough, but not too out there, but not too not there. I'll just give it a 3.
All right, Explodes, what about you?
It sounds like the most early CD gaming song to ever CD gaming song.
And this is coming in right after Palm Tree Panic, dude.
Yeah, so it's completely average. Gotta give it a 3.
I'm going to give it a 2 because I feel like it's very uninspired. I don't get Collision Chaos from this. I don't get pinball or hijinks or like high scoring stuff. It does. I don't think that even the US people even knew like how to make a song around it. And for that, I feel like Collision Chaos is very mid, like below mid, I think. So that goes a 2 for me. I'm not very impressed with this one. All right, Bad Future Time for Collision Chaos, the US side. Okay, you know what, Ben? You got me thinking about 80s cop shows now, because that's all I'm thinking about now.
Yep. Honestly, it's a nice continuance. It's a nice continuance, but you know what? You know what really sold me? What actually sent me
What?
was that guitar edition.
That
Honestly, that
yeah.
Oh yeah, the thing has risen just because like that's what was needed to kind of make it actually raise
I agree.
just enough. Along with I think the additional what they did for the other bit of the tune, the whatever they use instead. It's like no, this feels more proper.
Yeah.
So this is a solid 4 for me.
What about you, Explodes?
Definitely.
And I was going to say it was bad because it kept. I was going to say it was bad because it kept. It felt like it was constantly interrupting itself with something else with new ideas. But that just. And then I just remembered the name of the stage.
Not bad.
Collision Chaos. It's chaotic. It's crushing into itself. Like that actually makes sense. I'm gonna give it a 4.
I'm gonna join you guys. I'm gonna flip my decision and go into a 4 as well. That guitar, man. When I start hearing it, and I just immediately thought that exactly where Ben was gonna go with. It's like it sounds like those 80s cop dramas, and that's just them like as the plot thickens, and they're like, "Oh, Samuel, he's the one that did it. We just saw him pass by," and it's like, "Oh yeah, okay, we gotta pursue." It's like, yeah, exactly.
It's chase music.
Yeah, exactly. The very casual chase music in there. Okay, so yeah, I'm in agreement. 4 on that one. All right, this is the good future of Collision Chaos. Take a listen.
Oh boy. It's like lazy montage. And late 80s montage.
All right, I think that's enough. I'm gonna say downgrade. I think it's a downgrade.
And it's
From the Bad Future. I think the Bad Future probably is like the best one from this one. Me getting out
It's
of
just a bunch of excuse for its chaotic musical instruments choices.
yeah, if it's a good future, you'd expect there to be less chaos. And yes, there is. But the thing is, it still doesn't feel like it has an actual tune. It feels like it's just a bass line.
Mhm.
That's all. So honestly, this feels like a 2 to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I'm
go
gonna
with
give it
2.
a 2.
I'm giving it a 2 as well. Yeah, it's not awful, but it's bordering on that. Yeah. What a big
On board with these futures, I tell you, this one.
Eggman was right. Okay, all right.
Right.
Okay, so we're moving on to the next one. Back to Japan. By the way, the next level is called Tidal Tempest. It is just consider it a Tidal Tempest is like a underground Mayan-esque water temple. Correct me if I'm wrong with that one, Explodes.
I don't really remember.
It's the water level of the Sonic CD. You're going underwater quite a lot in this one. But yeah, so just keep that in mind. This is the past right here, what you're seeing on screen, Ben. So for a little bit of context, there's robots on screen, but they're obviously not organic. Okay, so let's go into
Bio robots.
Let's go into Tidal Tempest: The Past. Remember, this is shared between both versions here. There's a lot of things happening in that one. Ben?
Who the
And
hell
it all
let that
sounds
guy
like it was
cook at
written
the
by a
end?
child.
No, who the hell let the guy cook at the end?
Yeah.
Seriously, they went bonkers on the fucking xylophone bit.
Honestly, it sounded like a child wrote the end.
Yeah, to a degree. Okay, so few things. Again, it had some syncopation. It had the bump, 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 bump. The drums in the feel make it feel like I'm entering into some temple, like into something like that. Although, if it's supposed to be underwater, I can't say it necessarily fits. But I mean, if it's still in a temple, I guess it fits. As well as the fading in and out of the. Definitely gave it a very, very good edge. But it felt like there was something more to it. These were just baseline things. It wasn't necessarily the tune. They may have changed the key, but it was still missing something. But definitely fits. But I'll go 3.
Anyway, he explodes.
Feels like I should be doing a stiff, awkward dance with an army of clones to this.
Skeletons,
Yeah.
spooky, scary Mayan skeletons and shivers.
Yeah, I'm gonna just for that image alone, of the Mayan skeletons, I'm gonna give it a 3 instead of a 2.
I'm gonna stick to my gun to say it's a 2. I'm gonna give it a 2. The skeletons don't. He can't bribe me with a higher score.
Oh, Ed, I mean, what? Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna give it a 2. I'm not a big fan of how the quality of it is. It's definitely gonna get expounded upon in the later tracks, but I feel like earlier past tracks had more bopping than that one, so I'm gonna give that 2. This is Tidal Tempest present. If you'll notice, a lot more patterns in the background, and it's still underwater.
Eater.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Little bug floating on top of it.
Yeah, little buggies. All right, this
Ear.
is the present of Tidal Tempest.
Now this feels like I'm in water. Very murky. But I love it. All right. By the way, before you say anything, Ben, this is specifically to Explodes. Don't give it away. But I could definitely see where they got the idea to do Tidal Tempest for the US version. Just listening through this one at the very start of it. I'm just gonna put that out there. To be fair, this almost sounds like it belongs in Donkey Kong Country. Those underwater.
Does sound like an
Stages.
actual song, though.
Yeah, but yeah, you could
I mean,
definitely hear more of it sounds what I was describing it to be before compared to the past.
Oh yeah, and actually the whole upbeat bit, I mean, it was there. There wasn't a whole lot of chance to actually hear any empty air, so to say. It was very, very much encompassing, so it actually felt more appropriate to water. I mean, maybe it felt like a little bit too much. I felt water would probably make the sound a bit more muffled, but definitely has the edge in trying to make it feel like there's something to be worried about in the water.
Also feels like a air of danger in some parts to remind us that Sonic can't swim.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That final bit, I'm just like, oh, who the hell let this cook? Because the tone and the key that it was in, it's just like, oh wow, who wrote this? Honestly, the last bit felt kind of good, so I I'll say 3.5.
I'm gonna go
Not
as
entirely
high
my
as a
jam,
4.
but it's not bad.
I heard 4 from Explodes. I'm gonna stick with 3. I'm gonna excuse me with 3. I like the atmosphere. I think that's the word you were probably going for. I like the atmosphere of this one to kind of go in hand with it. They still got a melody with an atmosphere, and I think that's good. But I don't think it's like super duper good though. So for me, that's my reason for it. I have nothing really else to say beyond that. Let's go for Bad Future, Title Tempest. Oh, and for context, the Bad Future looks like this.
Oh my god, it's bloody.
I wouldn't say blood's probably chemical. That's probably chemical. Remember, there's being all the bad futures imply that Eggman took over it. So you can see in the background there's a lot of machinery now. So yeah, here is the bad future of Title Tempest. There you go. Say what you want about Eggman taking over. He knows how to play some good music, man.
Oh, that slaps. That slapped way more. Slapped way more.
You could definitely feel the dread in this one. The dread and like the technological beats I put in there. You got everything all
Felt
mechanicalized.
dystopian.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it has to sacrifice the watery presence to do so.
At this point, it just becomes another chemical plant to Eggman if you think about it. Sorry for interrupting, Ben, but I had to put that out there. I did like this song a lot.
What I put for my score for the last one?
You put, I think, a 4 for that one.
Really?
I
The
think
last one?
Yeah, I think you put a 4. You like the very
I think
last
we all
part.
did.
I gave it a 3, I think.
I'll give this one a 4.
4. I'll definitely give this a 4.5. I'll give this 4 now. Explodes?
I'm going a 3.5.
Give it away.
I missed the wateryness to it.
Where's the water? All right, let's move on to Good Future of Title Tempest.
Where's the sauce?
I feel like I should be doing my homework.
Yeah, this sounds just like, oh, don't worry about tomorrow. But you still have a test to study for.
All right, that's enough of that. Yeah, go ahead, Ben.
Nah, it's very, very chill. It just does not feel like we're in any kind of
Lo-fi
tempest
music
whatsoever.
Study to.
Nah, this feels a little bit less than the other ones. I'd say 2.5.
I give it a 1.
I'm not saying it's
Thank you.
terrible. It's just like this is supposed to be a happy
3.
ending to the future. Just something else.
I'm going to 3 just because it makes me think of the lo-fi beats.
Lo-fi beats. The reason why I give it a 1 is because I don't feel rewarded by listening to this. I feel like I feel like I want to go to sleep. I honestly feel like I want to go to sleep after listening to that, but I won't. Yeah, exactly. Now we're gonna get debatably. Oh, by the way, this is what the good future looks like. I didn't show that. This is the good future. Somehow technology is still here, but it's clean water this time. So
Yeah, it's green. That means it's good.
and there's fishes in there, actual fishes. So yeah. I'm not a big fan of that one. Anyway, let's hop over to the US side. Let's see if they can actually get some good mad beats here. And get ready for the Fresh Prince to show up, because let's get started.
Oh God. Yo, this is the story about how my life got turned, run right upside down, and you had just a moment to sit right there. I'll tell you how I kicked the ass of that Eggman right there. Oh, this is 90s hip hop, bruh.
They could just say that George Frank.
I'm doing my little dance, do my little dance, do my little dance.
All right, I think that's enough to sell it. I'm giving that a 5. I'm giving that a 5. I am giving that a 5.
Not gonna lie. It's such a contrast. It's beautiful.
I don't
Okay.
go for it, Ben. Yeah, go for it.
4.5, honestly.
4.5.
Doesn't quite sell me, but it close.
I don't know what I like about it, but I know I like it. I'll give it a 4.2.
This was the biggest early meme for this game, was that this sounds exactly like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, at least the very start of it, and you'll see mashups of this from like 10 years ago, and I cannot get it out of my head when I think about it. So yeah, it's a 5 for me. I love everything about it. There is no drop off for me, and everything down to the women singing in the background to whatever they were doing near the end of that loop. It's good. It's very good. All right, let's go see what the bad future sounds like. Maybe it might be better than the Japanese version. Let's find out.
Oh, there we go. Cops theme again.
Actually, yeah, I hear it this time.
Yeah. Fernando, we need you here, stat. I'm on my way, boss.
Going back to about 24th Avenue Street.
And if these papers aren't done by the time I get back from my coffee break, there's going to be hell to pay.
Go to the river.
I can't.
Yeah, I'm already giving this a 3. It's not as good, but it's still funny.
Something more upbeat. Oh, only because I get fed up there.
I think the rest is kind of similar to that, so I'm going to stop it there. That's the bad future of Tidal Tempest.
It doesn't seem like a bad future, but okay, I'll give it a 4. I'm sorry, I'm a sucker for this now. I can't hear cop themes now because of this soundtrack. You've ruined me. You've ruined me good.
What about you, Explodes?
As I said, 3. It's still really good, but like, it's missing a lot of the charm now because it's a cop show.
Darn you, Ben! Until we meet again.
This isn't a Sonic game. It's Sonic Time Cops.
It's Sonic
Yeah.
PD. It's Sonic PD. I will say it's not
Thrifty
thinking
Tails and Cheap Knuckles.
approved. You can just assign to the warrant.
if that paperwork isn't done, then I'm gonna have to get mad at you. Mostly because I can't actually do it myself. So
Oh
get me out
man!
of here.
Wait! Why? With Sonic busts him, hey, you know, like, hey Knuckles, we got the bad guy, and Knuckles just looks. It is illegal to commit crimes around here. Lock him away and never come back.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll combine this with Phoenix Wright. You know, we'll have a cop side and the lawyer side. It's Phoenix Wright here.
Alright, so what are we
Okay,
doing
I'm
here,
gonna
Marky?
give that one. I'm gonna give it a 3. I like the atmosphere, but I don't think it's nearly as good as the Fresh Prince present. So, yeah, it's missing something. I hear the ha, like, you know, bad things are happening. So, you know, I appreciate that. All right, let's go for the good future. Hopefully, that one does better than bad.
There we go.
Wait for it, Ben. Wait for it. All right, there you go.
Okay, that
Did
baseline
anybody else
at the
feel like
end.
playing micro games?
I played the Wario one that you connect when you play Wario World, but yeah, that's my only experience.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. That's the first game. It's making me think of that.
All right, Ben, what's your analysis on this?
All right, I didn't hate this, but it felt like a diet version of a cop show. Like it felt like it was not wanting to get gritty enough. But you know, this is the future. It's supposed to be nicer, so it feels right that it's watered down. But that baseline, that baseline.
Watered down because we're in a water temple.
Wah, wah, wah.
All right, go for it. What's your score?
Honestly, it's fine. It's not bad, but it definitely doesn't need too much improvement. I'd say at least 2.5.
2.5. Okay. What about you, Explodes?
Well, because I hear Wario micro games, I want to give it a 4 for being.
Excellent.
You Nintendo lover. You Sega traitor.
I will say it's a 5 for me in the official soundtrack version of this one. Instead of doing that, they have a portion where they go. There's like an extra portion that they added to it, and I love that one. I love that portion of the song that they added onto this one. It's an official for this song that they sold out in physical CDs, where they had like a super clean version of it, where they added some instruments. I think of that when I think of this. It's a 5 in my
So
book.
you're giving it extra points because you're a nerd.
I'm a nerd. Yeah. Guilty as charged. Guilty as charged. I love it. This is a really good mix. I'm gonna say the U.S. won the Palm Tree Panic. It lost Collision Chaos, but I think it made itself up for Tidal Tempest. So, in terms of like theming and all that stuff. All right. So moving on, the next location. The next location is this wonderful place, called Line. Hold on. Quartz Quadrant. Now, for your context, Ben, Quartz Quadrant is essentially a cave full of gems and all that stuff, and quartz. Yes. So you can see in the background.
Those aren't gems. Those are gems.
Yeah. So you can see right here, the very top is like the top side of the cave. You can see the background has a bunch of like spires and all that stuff, and then you see giant gemstones, just stalagmites. Yeah, there you go. In the background, this is the past. So, like I said before, Japanese soundtrack for the past is for both of them. So let's take a listen to Quartz Quadrant Past.
I saw a shuffle there.
By the way, I've started to notice that the past tracks, they take a very long time, and then they just go ham near the very end with like some
Yeah,
absurd.
that one was extra noticeable of how it was giving the build up. Except the very end releases it all.
Yeah.
I mean, the ambience definitely held. It had that nice little echoey effect to make you feel like you're in a cave. So definitely got the atmosphere right, the ambience.
Mm-hmm.
So I say it's actually, it doesn't go too hard. It doesn't go too hard. So honestly, 4.5.
Explodes.
It took too long to get to the good parts, the really, really good part, but it still took too long. 2.5 for the awesome ending.
I'm gonna do 2 just because I'm gonna be a principal, not a big fan of this, and yeah, the payoff for it, you're probably gonna leave the level before you hear it. So yeah, unfortunate, but it's unfortunate because that very first part could have been the riff that they used for a majority of the song, and I think it would have been a lot better for it. All right, let's go into Quartz Quadrant Present. Yeah. All right, there you go. And by the way, before you go in, Ben, this is the present. This is what the present looks like for Quartz Quadrant. Yeah. Go for it. Let me know. What do you think of that one? Big improvement, don't you think? Oh, did Ben get muted? Oh, did we lose
I
Ben?
didn't know I was muted.
Oh.
I'm here. That first half had it very, very interesting. For some reason, I felt like I was in a fashion show catwalk.
Oh, so we finally moved away from the beat cop music. Huh?
Don't you dare start. Okay, that's it. It sounded like a catwalk. Honestly, it felt just peppy enough to try and keep upbeat music from people that sees from staring at people with little to no clothes on, going like. But it felt peppy, but it didn't feel like quite the same sort of runabout as like a Mario Kart theme would have been. Like I called a few of these other ones.
Mm-hmm.
It was okay, but yeah, I'd say an improvement from my last one. So I'll say solid, but nothing entirely stuck out. It was good enough, so I'll give it 3.
What about you, Explodes?
Much better. It didn't just. It kept building up, but it released just enough so that you wanted to hear more. You.
Okay.
All right. About it, so I'm just gonna cut to the chase. I'm gonna give it a 4.
I'm gonna give it a 5. I really like everything. There's like each section of a song has its own unique beat that I feel like you don't get fed up hearing the beat too long before you switch to another one, and it is complemented by the main riff of the track. And in terms of feeling like I'm in a cave full of gems and all that stuff, I get the feeling of it. It's like very whimsical. Like think of it like you're in a dark ride, and when you go into one of the cave areas, you have that music playing. I would feel like I'm in a place full of stuff that are being mined over. I don't know. I get that. I get that feeling of it. That very, very whimsical, ooh, ah kind of situation to be in.
Approved.
Exactly. That's George, isn't it, huh?
No, that's me.
Oh, okay.
Left a while ago.
Okay. All right. Now we're going to go listen to The Bad Future, which this is The Bad Future, by the way. This is very typical for Eggman. Everything is all...
There's no more crystals.
no more crystals?
Oh my god, it's London.
Yeah, London with all the fire in the background. All right. This is The Bad Future. Take a listen right now. All right, well, that's a lot of high action octane right there. It actually feels like you're. Oh, good.
It felt like a Street Fighter level.
But if the earlier songs were more of a beat cop thing going on, this is being chased by the beat cop. You just ran away with the government's money, and the government is after you right now. That's the music I'm listening to here. Okay, well, what do you think of it? Does it feel like a bad future to you, or besides the Street Fighter element to it?
It feels exciting, but I wouldn't say it's bad, just challenging.
All right, well, score?
I'll give it 3.5.
3.5? All right, what about you, Explodes?
Definitely, absolutely fits the background of the stage. That said, without the background, it probably wouldn't be as good as it would be. So I'm gonna give it a 4.
I'll give it a 3.5, mainly because I feel like it's expounding upon the main beat, but it loses a lot when the loop is not that long, and it's just like da 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 da. Like, to me, it's like, okay, we're not getting much song. Yeah, it's a lot quicker, and there's not much song in there, and that is why. Anyway, all right, let's go for Good Future for the Quartz Quadrant. Take a look. All right, that should be before the loop. All right, Ben.
All right. Well, that one definitely sounded more like a good future. It didn't sound like it's just like, oh, it's resolute but mature. It didn't sound like anything else. This one actually
You can
felt
actually
like it fit.
show the back.
Oh yeah, here's the background. It's a Well, I guess Utopia in the background. There's birds.
Considering it's in a cave. Honestly, I say it's good. 4.5.
4.5. All right. What about you, Explodes?
4.
4.
Like, you're gonna be solid 4 all throughout.
Yeah, I believe so too. I think it's a good 4. It's not as good as the present one, I think, but I think it's a good solid 4 for this one. All right, to get time for Beat Cop madness. Because stupid Ben over here ruining Sonic CD for me. All right, so Quartz Quadrant present for the U.S. side. Take a listen.
My name's Sonic the Hedgehog, and
Oh,
I've been
yeah!
in these streets for a while. I've trained this new guy, calls himself Tails. Yeah, total by the foot kind of nerd. I am
Actually, sounds more like a Turtles.
You know? California, dude. Or possibly Battletoads.
That is one of them.
I don't think it really changes much throughout this one, but that's a Quartz Quadrant for the U.S. side. Ben, I could barely hear you guys talking.
80s beat cop, although Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Battletoads certainly sound like they could fit from that. It's not bad. It's not. It's a different kind of beat and everything, but it's nothing too spectacular. And honestly, it's becoming a bit monotonous at this point.
You know, Palm Tree Panic didn't have this problem. Palm Tree Panic did not have this problem with the musical choice that they had. They actually made it distinct on that end. But yeah, what's your score for that, Ben?
I'll give it a 3.
Explodes.
Same. It doesn't feel like a cave.
I'm gonna give it a 2. Only because the main beat is kind of boring to me. I don't really get anything about it. So yeah, that's gonna be for me. All right, Bad Future incoming. Take a look.
Oh boy. Five. Sorry, I'm calling it now. That's 5.
It's just definitely Eggman all over it.
It feels like one giant robot. I'm sorry, this is a 5 for me. For a Bad Future with Eggman, this is a 5.
Yeah, I'm still curious.
Eggman in the background, really on that guitar going. You know, Jim Carrey's version, rock styling, like a rock star. Oh god, this is a 5.
All right, so I could hear barely anything what you said, but what?
We're giving
It's
it
a
5
5.
each.
A 5?
Yep.
Wow.
I'll get my reasons for it too. It's a 5. The whole techno beat, the whole it was perfectly mechanical, and it sounded like another machine was going off in the background, like a printer or something. And then when that guitar
Yeah,
came
what
on,
he
I
said.
imagined Eggman in the background with the guitar just going, just like, oh yeah.
Read my Agent Stone doing the drum beat.
I like it. I like it a lot. I'm gonna join you guys. 5. It's gonna be a 5 for me as well. There's something good about
Such a
First
bad
5?
start. It just went really ham.
You know, it does not even match the motif that the present set up with. You know how like each of the themes seem to be bouncing off each other's main riff? That has nothing to do with what present did.
Nothing at all.
Yeah.
If it was, I couldn't find it. It was buried in the past.
All right,
That's
let's see
where
how
it
disappointing
belongs.
this is.
All right, good future.
Oh, boy.
Take a look.
Okay, take your breath.
But
Eggman took over, but it's just Eggman. Okay.
I guess the 4.5.
I guess Dr. Light from Eggman took over instead.
Yeah, it's good to look
And choral music. Oh, okay. Definitely not a 4.5, I'd say. Yeah,
All right,
4.5.
so I'm gonna say it feels like they went more for the angle where technology was in harmony with whatever the location is, and it's free of Eggman's oppression. So that's why you have kind of like the happy-go-lucky esque of it. I will say that I think the Bad Future sounds slightly better, mainly because you got that ominous feeling from it with the guitar. This one's also good. I'm gonna give it a 4.5. I'm gonna give this a 4.5. Sorry for butting in.
4.5.
Oh, sorry. It's good. Go figure. The present just did not get copied and pasted in these iterations.
That was for better.
Yeah, that was for better, way better. I take it, Ben. You also did 4.5 as well.
Yep.
All right. Okay. All right. Wow. The U.S. redeemed itself in terms of like good stuff here. Okay.
Yeah, it had a very bad present, but then just like.
Yeah, it redeemed itself. All right. This next one is called Wacky Workbench. This is essentially one of Eggman's bases that he makes, I believe. You could tell by the construction stuff in the background.
You're getting closer to Eggman.
Yeah, so of course he used time travel to build something in the past, and this is when it's under construction. The location is, and it's called Wacky Workbench. There's a lot of bouncing around here, and it's under construction. That's all. It's like Planet Wisp before Planet Wisp. So take a look at past of Wacky Workbench. All right, so that's going to be a loop there. Ben, go for it.
Honestly, very, very upbeat and happy. I imagine like Eggman's like, oh man, I finally did it. I'm in the past. I'm now building this thing. Oh, isn't it grand? I imagine him just doing like ballerina twirls and pirouettes just in the background, just saying like, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. He's so happy that he doesn't realize that his oversight is actually having that Sonic is actually there, just getting closer, but he's celebrating, thinking, "I finally did it! I'm finally here."
Oh,
honestly, 3.5. You know what? Yeah, 3.5. It's solid. It's fairly solid.
Explodes.
I'm giving it a 4. It's just so hard to hate it.
This reminds me of of GBA Sonic Advance with the type of quality that's given out. And for better or worse, there were some songs in there that were good, but like the synth about it, I like it, and I like the beat is consistent and gives you something really good to listen to. And in terms of like Wacky Workbench being a theme for it, it doesn't really feel machinery like, but it does feel like the start of something that's being made. So
this is the first Good Pass song.
Yeah, first Good Pass song. So yeah, I give that a 4.5. I'd say 4.5. All right. Wacky Workbench Japanese present. Give it a listen. All right, that's pretty much before the loop anyway. All right, Ben.
It felt more like the workshop was finally completed. And this is the modern version. It's like, yeah, this feels like a factory that's running fairly smoothly, almost too smoothly. Honestly,
I forgot to post what it looks like. There you go. Go ahead. With that in mind.
oh no, I think it still kind of matches. It feels like it's running almost too smoothly, and even like at the end when it had like that little bit of a, I don't know what it was, but it seemed to switch out that. Yeah. But the previous one when it had like that booping and bopping that happened, it switched that out for more of a zing, like a conveyor belt or something like being shot down a line. It's like this feels something closer to like what a factory ought to be, but with a little bit of a, I'm not sure.
Give me
Not
like
exactly
give me
je ne
like
sais
a
quoi.
few minutes to keep discussing. I'm gonna use the restroom real fast. Give me 1 second.
You know, good.
I felt like it's not as good, but like there's the whole feeling that in the background, Eggman is having his robots give him a concert of sorts.
I can
Like
see that. I can
celebrate.
definitely see that. Yeah. It's just the last one actually felt like that booping and bopping that it had, that bubbly bounciness, that felt like someone that was just, it felt less construction and felt more like someone was at a rave. But honestly, musically, it's like, they could have just been like hitting each other on the head with the rafters or something. But yeah, this one, a lot less bopping. But that's because, again, the factory's up and running. It's finally running smoothly. So when he gets back, I want to say it's not too spectacular. It feels watered down, but that's because, the construction's all done. So honestly, gonna have to probably give it still maybe a 3.5 just because it fits.
Same.
All right. No, still, I'm thinking about the good and bad futures, the last one. The whole techno aspect, because when the good future one began, I'm like, oh, it's the exact same. I have this feeling that the good and bad futures are supposed to reflect each other, because depending on which one you do first compared to which one you do second, it has to sound similar enough at the beginning from both sides to literally say, oh, you want this? Oh, well, now here's the twist. You thought it was good, but now it's bad. You thought it was bad, but now it's good. Ha ha. It's like pulling the rug out from under you or something. So
Yeah. I hope
That-
this
that
one
was-
does similar to it.
yeah, I mean, it's the same motif, and honestly, it fits. I think it's fine. But at least they did something with it this time instead of just keeping like the baseline, but adding a few more things. No, they changed it. They changed it up just enough to make it realize it's like, no, it's smooth now, and the synth really, really does add to the smooth.
Yeah.
That's right, Eggman. We really wanted things to run more smooth. Now, where do you want the rest of the lube?
Okay, I am back.
You're back right to that.
Yeah, well, I didn't hear that. I heard chuckling. But one of the things I want to bring up here, it almost feels like the Sonic CD's versions are. What if we had 80s versus 90s? And that seems to be.
It does feel like a contrast of sorts. I brought that up in like the first or second track.
All right. So what was the
Opening?
what was the scoring?
3.5 across the board.
Okay. All right. We will move on to Wacky Workbench.
What is your score then?
I'm gonna because I went to use the bathroom. I'm just gonna agree with you guys. So I forgot. Anyway, Wacky Workbench, The Bad Future. Take a listen.
All right, it's already at a 4 at least. When the hell did we get into boss music?
It's like it's an alarm going off.
I know.
Fuck the alarm.
Oh, sorry, that's my phone. Oh no, it's the soundtrack.
Oh, I'm getting up extra early to be in the Menaces here.
Yeah, just hearing this portion right here, I'm gonna actually do it. Just hearing this portion, really gives you the mood of what's going for.
It's
Oh
like,
yeah.
for the first time in eons, someone is actually entering the lab, and it's going off.
Intruder!
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 Yeah.
Intruder! Summon the kill bots. Or bot, you lead them. What?
You got it, boss. So what are we gonna do?
Okay. Same thing we do every day, Orbot. Try to catch a hedgehog.
So yeah, I'm giving that a 5. Just
Same
to-
here.
5.
I'm giving that a 5 as well. It does a lot of good things. I was afraid that the repetition of like that first portion was going nowhere, but when they go it's like, oh wow, that's like bad guy incoming music.
It felt like a boss. It
Yeah.
felt like boss music. Like you're running down the platform, like it's a running platform scene or stage, and you're moving along this whole thing, and they're chasing after you, or you're chasing after them, and you're trying to beat them before the bots get to you.
Yeah, very fitting, and I like it too. I agree with you guys. 5
yeah.
out of 5. All right, let's see what the good future is. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you saw this when I clicked on it, but this is what the bad future looks like. So,
Sure, it's a good future then.
yeah, good future is this right here. Very colorful. it's still a factory, but it's a nice and colorful factory.
Now we produce puppies. Radioactive puppies.
Let's go for the good future. Take a listen.
Hello, operator.
Yeah, it sounds like a Nokia phone.
Wait, is that the good
But in a
future? We have
good way.
Nokia phones in the good future.
Oh God, this isn't the good
This
future
was
at
never
all.
the time. This was when cellular phones were just starting. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
Lord.
I will say it's not as. Oh yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Ben. Yeah.
No, I do like it. I feel like it fits. It definitely adds to the atmosphere. It definitely feels like a good future ending. It's like, okay, everything's good here.
Doesn't necessarily slap as hard, but then again, I doubt you'll have to fight a boss on this level.
it also
So-
doesn't feel like it's the same song. It's got the beat in there somewhere, but it's like an entirely different song with the beat.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
we're just a sucker for being the protagonist in a place that wants to kill us, and having the epic boss music just feels way more cool.
I get a rush, man.
So I'm gonna. Oh
I
wait,
mean,
what was your
it's
score?
alright.
What was your score?
It's good. I'm hovering between 3.5 and 4. I'll hear you guys first.
All right,
I'm going for 4.
I'm going for 3.5. 3.5.
All right, I'll give it a 4.
I thought you were gonna go
I'll go on the high boss
3.45.
range.
I thought you were gonna go for 3.45, just to be in the middle.
3.75.
Okay.
In between the in between.
Now, now let's go into the U.S. side. This is Wacky Workbench present. Take a listen.
Okay. Yep. Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh, no, it's Miami Cop.
Okay, now it's Hawaiian Cops.
All right, that's right before the loop. That's different from Japan, huh? Way different from Japan.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a little highball when this, but first let's see what
Yeah, Ben.
Ben has to say.
Ben.
Honestly, yeah, it's better than the last 80s beat cop. To be fair, I still think it sounds like Beverly Hills, but then as soon as you mentioned it's like, no, this is Miami, it's like, yeah, but then at the end it felt more like Hawaii. It felt like we went from a beach on the mainland to an island,
Hawaiian beat
On a
cop, Sonic the
luau,
Hedgehog.
even though you can't even swim.
This is Sonic just plops one of those lights on top of his head, and you hear wee wee wee.
I mean, he's already wearing blue. Does he even need a uniform? Just wears a badge.
Just-
Oh my God, he's naked.
Okay, in terms of this track, Wacky Workbench, what do you think?
Does not fit for Wacky Workbench, but it's still good. I'm gonna have to give it a 3. I can't put it lower than a 2. So 3. It's 3.
All right,
It's a
go
3.
for
It's-
go for explodes.
Like I said, I'm gonna give it a little bit of a highball with a 3.5.
I'm gonna give it a 4. I think it's a lot better than the present version of Wacky Workbench. There's a lot going for it, especially with the guitars. I can't get the beat cop thing out of my head because it's what Ben said earlier, but I like it. Maybe I like beat cop stuff, huh? Have you thought of that? Anyway, let's take a look at the bad future of Wacky Workbench as interpreted by the Statesman.
Boy. Okay, now we're in New York.
New York, Hawaii.
Just one giant building in the middle.
The United States are concealed in this giant mass called the United States of Pangea.
Hey, you sound like to say Hawaii.
Okay, the hell?
That's a swear a little bit.
Okay, that guitar just kind of brought it up a bit. Okay, fine, you convinced me. 3.5. The guitar rings it. The guitar rings it. I submit.
It's not even
I submit the string.
Because as you know, explodes guitars are evil.
Yes, they truly are.
Unless they're
I submit.
unless they're carried by hedgehogs.
Okay.
In that case, they're
I
just
don't
bad.
think,
Oh, go
I
ahead.
think Sonic could only handle a ukulele, honestly. I don't think Sonic could actually handle a
No,
guitar.
He's done it. He's done it.
guitar with
He's done a
brother and
guitar
sister.
before. Yeah. Even Sonic Boom he did. So, I heard a
Guitars
lot
are
of
huge.
praise. I learned.
Sonic is 3 foot tall.
Well,
Just that
custom
guitar
made.
alone gives it a good score.
Yeah, the guitar. I heard Ben was like, okay. Oh my god. That's it. It's
It's just going.
No, I thought it was gonna be. I'm just like, okay, this sounds okay, but then that guitar, I go, oh god, yes,
And it takes almost half the song, so it's pretty good.
yeah.
yeah. It continued on. It wasn't near the end. It's like, okay, that's a much better payoff. It wasn't too soon. Otherwise, it might have felt disjointed. That actually felt like a good payoff. So
Yeah.
3.5.
For a bad future,
for
that's
Wacky
not bad.
Four.
I mean, still doesn't sound like a wacky workshop, but you know what? For a dark future, okay.
Yeah, I would imagine if this is a workshop over here that's playing through the speakers while people are working. You just have. I wouldn't mind working for Eggman if that music was blaring out. That's some good stuff right there.
All right, time to play my one single for the 8,000th time.
Okay, hold up. Wait a minute.
That's what it feels like. It feels
All
like
right.
he does it. It's like, you know what?
So
I
what's
may
your
hate everything
score,
about him.
Mark?
5. It's a 5. It's the guitar riff is just too good, and the fact that you can have that looped. Chef's kiss right there. Man, it's good. I think so far, Wacky Workbench belongs to US so far, just in general, of like,
Just barely.
yeah. All right, good
Just
future,
barely.
good future. Okay. Hold up. I'm gonna take over this one real fast, Ben. It's not as good as
Okay,
Bad
please.
Future. It's not as good as Bad Future, but I could definitely see a world where you look at this and be like, it's a factory where everyone's working together, instead of being forced slave labor. That's the only good thing I can really take away from this, because everyone's working at a specific beat, and it sounds like you could even hear people like with push brooms, like pushing things out of the
Yeah.
way. And the guitar tickles my ears. I like that. Like, that sounds good. I will not say it's as good as Bad Future, and that is why I give it a 4. That is my reason for it.
Both Bad Futures are just dwarf this in comparison. I got to give it a 2.5.
Honestly, I'm gonna have to actually increase that, most because no, you're right. It actually sounds like people are working this assembly line. It doesn't sound too like devoid of organic life. And that little part near the end there, where it actually went like dong, 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 and actually had the sound effects. It sounded like the end of like an assembly line.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're all doing their bits, they're sweeping the floors, but it sounded like that. It sounded like a factory. I'll be honest, it sounded a bit more mid,
Mm-hmm.
just because it's like, okay, this is happier, but it doesn't feel like it's angsty. But it's like, okay, yeah, but it felt like something was there that was pushing it. But you know what? They're trying to meet a deadline. It kind of feels like a factory. So honestly, I'll give it a 4.
4. Wow, it's 5, 4, and 2.5. Okay. All right. Jumping back into Japan, we have everyone's. Okay, this is the most iconic level in Sonic CD history. It is a place called Stardust Speedway. This is the iconic. This is the level iconic where Sonic faces off against Metal Sonic in a race to the death. The only way I could describe Stardust Speedway is like a giant freeway that zigzags for miles. Is that
Trumpets.
with trumpets? Yeah. This is the past, by the way, which is, for some reason, there's a lot of early American, no, like, I don't want to say American, what? Greek? Yeah,
It's
there we go. Greek architecture in the background. And I think of the pillars, I think of like the stuff in the White House and all that. So that's where my mind
Yeah.
went to. So Greek
Greco-Roman.
Yeah. So this is the past of Stardust Speedway. Give it a listen right now.
Universal.
Because I mean, yeah, this definitely Trump's music. Okay, let's beat cop. More like hip hop performers. Oh man, we in the ghetto with this.
All right, there's your past. There's your past of Stardust Speedway.
That ending was kind of weaker than I may have honestly liked it, but not too terrible. It was different, finally.
Makes me think of this image.
I can't see it because it would show the screen, my screen, and I don't want to. Oh, what is it? Just tell me.
Or Ben will see it. Like,
On the chat, or
Yeah, it's on
Yeah.
the chat.
I'm looking on the YouTube chat. Then I'm looking on the YouTube chatter chat. I see nothing there.
you want to do the chat that's inside the voice chat.
Well,
I'm,
Ben,
I'm
well,
there. I see nothing.
I see it pop up in my notification.
It's the soundtrack menu for the. It's the Rastafarian Eggman DJ with Sonic wearing some bling.
Oh, that
singing.
one, that image. Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, the reviewer, now we know that Ben has no taste.
What's your score for this one?
It's a stark contrast with the buildings. I'm gonna be honest. It feels so hip hoppy. But it's not terrible. But it does peter out at the end. So, 2.5.
You explodes?
4 for how funky it is.
I give it a 3.5, mainly because I know what these are just building blocks for the present, and the present, in my opinion, would be spoilers. It's pretty darn good. So speaking of which, present is this right here. This is the present. Kind of hard to see, but it's supposed to be implied. There's like a lot of buildings in the background. That's why you see all the little lights and everything. And you can't see because this is like a background element, but in the front screen you would have like a bunch of freeway-esque things where Sonic would be looping up and down. So yeah, Stardust Speedway present. This is the Japanese version of it. Take a listen.
Funky. This thing got funky.
All right, just insert the Peter Griffin dancing meme here, and I that's how I feel about it.
I'd say 2 DJs battling for supremacy.
All right, Ben, go for it.
I'd say definitely funky. Definitely funky. Funky indeed. I'd say it kind of fits more modern, actually. So honestly, 4.
All right, explodes.
I actually like it slightly less than the past, so I'm giving it a 3.5.
3.5. My first entry to this one, because I never played the with the Japanese music until way later. I was really surprised just how different it was, and I am a big sucker for just how the framing of it is. Does it fit the location? It's a freeway, right? You would imagine people blaring this out from their car when they're going past the legal speed limit. And I like it. I'm going to go stick with my bias. And I say I like this one a lot. And I'm going to give it a solid 4.5. A solid 4.5. Big time. All right. On to the next one. It is The Bad Future. You can see this right here. It's all dreary in the background. And the only thing that's really stick around is the freeway that you see in the front of the screen. and I
Oh,
could
gotta
only
go fast.
Mm-hmm. So this is The Bad Future. Take a listen.
So what everybody knows. So then everybody knows. I'm not even going to justify this getting a 5. It's a 5.
This is better, honestly. It feels like a natural evolution. Yeah, I'll give it a 5. It just feels, it went from good to it went from funky to funky to wow. Man, if this is the future, if this is the bad future, I wouldn't mind it.
Oh man. Okay, we all heard. I heard you guys talking to that. That's a 5. That is a flat out 5. There's a reason why they brought this back in Sonic Generations for Metal Sonic's boss fight.
Yeah, I don't think that's even the only time they brought it back.
Yeah, it is a good song for a Bad Future. That slaps. Let's see if the Good Future is able to stand up against that. By the way, that was the Bad Future. This is the Good Future right here.
Give me the bad future. Let's see if I change my mind.
let's see how the Good Future stacks up.
Okay, that bass got me.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm at least at a 4. Oh, there we go.
Even in the good future, you can't get rid of the Metal Sonic.
Oh yeah, it's good. I honestly 4.5. 4.5.
That alone gave it a 4.
4.5.
I said it's at least a 4, but I'll take a 4.
4. Yeah,
It is good.
it is good.
It's solid. It's
Yeah.
solid.
All right, let's see if the U.S. can stack up against that. This is Stardust
They can't.
Speedway present. That's a lot of big shoes to fill. Present. Past. Well, present. Future. Both futures were really good on delivery in Japan. Let's see if U.S. is able to stand against that.
Hit me. Hit me. Oh, hell.
Alright. That is not where I thought it was going.
A little bit too soft for a future highway, but you know what? It's a step above some of the other stuff. Prop your arm against the car door while cruising down the street.
Yeah.
Street lights passing on by you, bobbing your head to some music. Looking at the pimps with that hose on the side, just going, yeah, whatever. The robot pimps with the robot hose.
With blackjack and hookers.
You know what? Forget about the casino. We love you. Shut up, baby. I know it.
Okay, that's underwhelming comparatively to it, despite the Bender reference.
Story, at least.
Uh,
It had a really strong start, but it just went in a completely different direction than it was implying.
it feels underbaked, I would say. It's good, but it doesn't. It feels like it lost potential with exactly what Explodes was talking about.
Not enough to make me sick necessarily if I were to take a bite out of it. Not enough to give me salmonella poisoning, but enough to say it's like, oh, that might have been just a little underwhelming. So I'll say 3.5, honestly. It's good enough.
Yeah, Explodes. I take it you're gonna go lower than that.
Regular 3.
Regular thing. Oh, as opposed to a normal 3. Sorry, a better
Furious
3.
3.
Serious
Normal 3. Saitama.
I'm gonna give it a 2.5 because I feel like it lies to me. We're at Stardust Speedway, which is like supposed to be the fastest stage in the game, and you're just giving me cruising music. And
Well,
so
it felt better than some of the other street cop stuff that felt like a chase sort of thing. This felt like another side of what you would see from it. This felt like beat cop music, but this felt like, okay, this is just look at the world around you. You know, it's not good, it's not bad, it's just as it is. With hookers and blackjack.
you know. Okay, 3. This is the bad future. Let's take a listen.
More robot hookers. Okay. Hell of a
It
start.
won't be a 5, but it'll be a pretty good score.
Okay, come on, give me something else. Come on. That's all we get.
Ready for it? It's all perfect, but it's doing it slow. Nope, that's it.
No, I'm sorry, I can't make it any higher. 3.5. It's not any better, honestly.
To me again.
It did. It feels like it's about to do something else, but no, it's playing it too safe.
Is there
Playing
anything?
it too safe.
Wait, this one says most replayed. Maybe there's something in the rift here. No, it's the same type of rift there. Yeah, I agree. It feels really. It has something at the start. It makes you like yeah, but then it's like, oh, okay, this is all we're getting. It's just the porridge.
That's the bad future.
Yeah, that's the bad future.
Oh, it's bad, but not in the way you want it to be.
what was the scoring? I heard 3.5 by somebody.
3.5 from me.
Explodes.
2.5.
2.5. I'll stick with 2. That's a low point there, sadly, for the most iconic level in the game. 2. Okay, now let's see Good Future. Let's see if Good Future does something different. I doubt it at this point, but we'll see.
I have hope.
Is this a good future?
Yep.
Sounds like Sonic and Kirby decided to have a banger. Alright.
Not more dangerous than that.
Yeah, this sounds like a bad future. Yeah, we just fought things. The last one was like going at the speed limit, if not 5 over directly, but this thing has slight edge. Or at least a bit.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Alright.
It's a 3.5.
I'm gonna have to say at least 3.5. There's nothing that's screaming quite yet, but it has given itself 3.5 deservedly. That beginning and that change.
Oh yeah, that's like the loop portion. Yeah, way more of an improvement, I'd say, from the other two, which felt kind of boring in comparison. You would probably be remiss to think, oh, this is the bad future, right? Like, no, this is the good future.
It's the bad future, but in a good way, so that makes it good.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
I'm gonna give it a solid 3. I don't know what you guys were saying over the music, but I give it a solid 3 for that one.
3.5.
3.5.
Okay, it got slight redemption.
Slight redemption.
Just barely.
So Japan seems to have won the Stardust Speedway. I can understand why people look to the Japanese soundtrack of Stardust Speedway compared to the US one. The US one feels
When it
very
comes to
underbaked.
Metal Sonic, it's gotta be Japanese.
Yeah. All right, let's
I
move
will say.
on to the final stage of Sonic CD, and it's Metallic Madness. Metallic Madness is, yes, it is the name of what wasn't Metal Sonic? No, it's Neo Metal Sonic. I'm thinking about something else. Metallic Madness it's Metal Overlord was his name for that one. Okay, so Metallic Madness. This is Eggman's final fortress of the game, and oh yeah, I should probably show what it looks like instead of saying it. This is it. This is his final fortress in the past. You can see the constructions being made in the background.
You usually don't see the background.
So I mean, they went out of their way to do this when they were making sprites. So yeah, the Final Fortress in the past. Give it a listen right now.
Hey, it surprised me. I thought it was about to do a whole
Oh, remix the lyrics. Maybe it was a different version of the song, but I know it. Like, this one. Oh, right, they used Sonic Mania, so that's why.
I feel like Sonic is like barely missing some traps by. Sounds like he's trying to set off all the traps that he can to stop it from coming in, but Sonic's magic dodges.
Yeah, that's pretty much the loop of it. Ben, go for it.
I mean, really not bad. It's solid enough, but I'd say 3.
Okay, explodes.
It's not the version they used in Mania.
Well, it's the past.
I'm gonna give it a 3.
Okay, 3. I'm gonna stay with the pack on that and say 3 as well. It's not doing anything particularly new, and there are better versions of that song. Now that we're gonna go for that, this is the background for the present. You can see like a reactor in the background, and I think the pod where Metal Sonic is supposed to be implied to be in. Oh, sorry. Was it Hyper Metal Sonic? Yes, the dub would suggest there.
Mega Ultra Metal Sonic.
All right, so this is the present of Metallic Madness. Give it a listen here.
Okay, sorry, this at least gets 3.5.
I give it a 4 for the lyrics, but I can't understand.
You know what? I could be convinced to go to about a 4, but it's at least 3.5. I want to.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much the loop. And if I could look at the comment here, lyrics, that kid is in the place we're in because the man is going to kill. Gotta go through to know the deal. Look at Blue. He's going to hit yourself. He's gonna hit yourself running for a fight. Fisting is sicker you. Get out.
I didn't know Cubot wrote lyrics because it sounds like he would be singing this.
I like the comment. When you just robbed, I'm gonna correct it. When you just robbed a bank and the police is chasing you. Okay, that is OG Metallic Madness. It's been a while since I heard the OG version. Ben, go for it.
It's solid. Nothing pops out, but yeah, it's definitely higher than the last one. Honestly, that whole little rapping bit definitely gives the feeling it's like one of Eggman's robots was just programmed differently and just decided to spit some rhyme. So 3.5.
Explodes. Oh, did we lose Explodes this time? Or is he muted?
I mean, he said 4 last I checked, but
Oh, he probably went to go get
confirm.
some pill. He probably went to go get some medication. Yeah, this is around the time he does that. Anyway.
Yeah, I actually should do that before we start the next song.
Okay, I will
Doing
go.
something else.
I will gush. I will gush myself right now. Metallic Madness.
We're on stream.
You know what? Since we're here, let me look up. I'm gonna show you what the whatchamacallit, Sonic Mania version is. Mania OST, Metallic Madness. Yeah, this is what the Metallic Madness of Mania sounds like. So you get a bonus one, Ben, just to hear what they did with it. With the idea. Take a look at this one.
All right. this version is now a 4.
Especially with that one that one sax over there just going off.
Wait, who the hell got the Ghostbusters theme?
Due to how Mania was, they had Act 1 and Act 2, and they did Act 2, which essentially remixed the existing one. So this is still Metallic Madness for Act 2.
But you have my utmost respect now.
Yeah, they went for a little bit more fast pace of that. Let me.
All right, I know I didn't give that much credit for the beginning opening for its rap, but
Yeah.
I feel the rap is honestly more appropriate now in the bad futures of these games.
The whatchamacallit, the lyrics that you could barely hear is like, I'm an evil doctor with a rad genius and bad minions to help me sink the planet into my dominion. A baddie with an IQ like you've never seen. I'm the meanest, vilest villain that's ever been on your screen. I'm iconic with a bionic animatronics. Got a chronic knack to catch the hedgehog they call Sonic. My temper is atomic. My mustache is on fire. Welcome to the new world, Eggman Empire.
Okay, fucking slap. That's a 5. That's a goddamn 5. I'm sorry. This remix tops it.
Yeah, that's good. So,
Bonus round.
yeah,
5 for me.
bonus round. Okay. We haven't even got to Bad Future yet. All that was present, dude. All that was present.
Okay, I'm hoping this be. Look, if this is the Japanese Bad Future revision, I want it. I don't
Okay.
care what it is. I want it. I know I'm gonna get something good.
So this is the Bad Future. If you could notice all this, a lot of the machinery is broken and chipping away. That's a thing of just it's not been kept up. So
Or somebody's been eating it.
true.
Too much iron in your system, Sonic.
All right, I think Explodes. Let's see if you could actually just show up in the middle of this one.
Bonus.
No, you didn't. Oh, I had a bonus round. I showed him the Metallic Madness remixes from Mania.
Instant 5.
Yeah, they're especially the Eggman rap that you can barely hear. So
Yeah.
okay, let's go into Metallic Madness: The Bad Future. Go ahead and give it a listen.
Mortal Kombat! Okay, this one's a 4 at least.
Would be higher with us left.
Okay, a little robotic fantasy voices.
People
The
like to-
laughing.
Sonic, dead or alive, is mine.
Oh. Yes.
There you go. That is Metallic Madness: Bad Future. You could definitely tell it's Sonic if he messed up. So
Sonic, you fucked up. I'm thinking of keeping it at a 4. Honestly, it's beyond solid.
Explodes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with that.
If you do feel like things are terrible. Eggman won, and like you saw at the very end, like Sonic dead or alive, he's mine. So it's like, yeah, it's Eggman is the most evilest. All right, so
He's become the Matrix.
exactly, this is the good future of Metallic Madness. You can see it's I guess another Utopia, another Capsule Corporation in the background over there with the roundness of the
Or
buildings.
just what's left of the things that they tore down.
True. That also can be interpreted that way. So here is Metallic Madness, The Good Future.
Damn. No, this is out of 4 already. This is out of 4. All right. Well, it's not illogical, but hell, it gives a different groove.
It's nature making food. Go.
I mean, honestly, I say solid 4.
I think I want to give it a 5.
I'm gonna give that a 5 as well. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me one part it's a prom dance, and 2 it feels like something you would hear at the end of a war when the winning side, hopefully the good winning side is victorious, and you have them marching back home. That to me is like indicative of this version of the song. And
I'll be convinced at 4.5.
4.5.
I'd say it would be Return to Rebuilding.
Yeah, Return to Rebuilding, yeah, as well. 5, so 2 5s, 1 4.5.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right. And now,
Big shoes to fill.
American.
Big shoes to fill. I'm gonna give you a spoiler. I don't think these are good versions of them. Just gonna put that out there. And
Considering
so,
the last one was literally a banger, it's like, okay, a 4 and a 5, not bad scores, not perfect, but not bad. Okay.
all right, Metallic Madness present for Sonic CD. Let's go.
When the hell did we get the Terminator? Yeah, I'd say it kind of fits.
Yeah, that's pretty much the rest of the riff for it. How far we have fallen from Palm Tree Panic. I will say that in terms of
I mean, the drums actually kind of take away from it, if I'm being honest. It's bongo drums.
hold on one second.
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Ben. Go ahead.
2.
This would have been far better as a past one.
True.
Yeah.
I guess 2.5.
I give it a 1. I'm not a big fan of it. It is
Damn.
chunkers. It's trash.
Lowest score song. This is the lowest score song.
Okay, here's the Bad Future.
Okay, don't let me down. Give me guitar.
This is not final stage music. Well,
Still, those chords are actually hitting.
Yeah, it is.
This actually feels like a thread is moving. I'm gonna say 3.5.
Yeah, it's better, but not in a way that I feel like it tops the Japanese version. The Japanese version really felt like you messed up and they were making fun of you. This one feels like, yeah, you're entering a base that is directly designed to kill you, and you have to.
I'm still gonna give it 2.5.
2.5. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's a 3 because I actually like the ominous feeling of it, and
Those chords sold me.
yeah, remember I heard Explode saying that doesn't sound like final stage music, and then the guitars showed up. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, now we're talking.
One last chance, America. One last chance.
Good future. Let's see. Let's hear it out.
Okay, it makes a little more sense here, but still.
Don't pick up.
Nah, this is just bad. It is just bad.
PK,
No.
go away. Go away. You're not
Of
helping.
course it's fine, but the bongos. What the fuck are the bongos doing here?
I'm gonna have to be really rude to this one.
Zero.
0.
I knew exactly what you're thinking.
Honestly, my first and ever one. Okay, I'm
yeah.
sorry. It has something. It has
something.
potential,
The
but
bongos killed it,
my
man.
God, does it need work? Ugh.
Yeah,
The bongos were fine back in the ancient past, and the beaches, man. This ain't the beach. This is the monstrosity in the machine. This is Deus Ex Devil here. Devil Ex Machina.
Okay, yeah, that's gonna be a 1 for me. I'm not gonna be as cruel as that because it sounds still a little bit better by a smidgen from the present, but it's still not good. Still not good. All right, this is the Japanese boss music. Anytime Eggman shows up, regardless, there's no
I
past.
got the
Pairs it.
lyrics. We're gonna post them in the.
Oh, yeah, I get for Ben to see. By the way, there's no different variations. It is the same across the board, whether it's a good or bad future. So this is whenever you fight the boss here. So this is the Japanese take on the boss fight. Take a listen.
Work that sucker to death. Come on now, work that sucker to death. That means they need a new factory.
This is just the robot. Redesigned the headset.
I'm sorry, this is at least a 4. It's encroaching on 4.5.
Yeah, it worked that sucker to death. I actually thought it was the F word being said at one point, and I was like, wait a minute, what?
Work that fucker to death. Come on now. Oh man, I went full empty.
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if that was when I was younger. I was like, "Oh man, I shouldn't have this playing when I'm with my parents." But it sounds so good, and I was like, "Oh, it's actually worked that sucker to death." And I was like, "Okay."
We don't even need to listen to the other half of it.
Yeah,
just too perfect.
It's good. It's a 4.5 for me, in terms of very
I'll
good.
keep mine at 4.5 then.
4.0, yeah. Explodes. What was yours?
And I get a 5.
You get a 5. Okay.
All right.
This
Solid
is-
final boss music.
This is the boss. Well, it's that's the normal boss music for that. All right, so this is the, let me see, boss over here for the US side. It's a different take. It's a different take. There you go.
It's about half the bosses.
Yeah, that's like half of what the last one was. It's like, where's the rest?
Where's the
Where's the
lamb
rest?
sauce? Yeah,
It's great. It's solid. It's worth at least a 3.5.
I
It's
think it
just-
sells. Oh, good.
It's just not for every boss. Like the one with that walks on 2 feet and you can just cheese by getting behind.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Like the mini Koopa bosses before you get to Bowser. It's like this is the Koopas to the Bowser.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does start out ominous, and then you got the the carnival music starting. So there's that. Before we get to the final one here, the final stuff here, the special stage for context is just Sonic in a 3D-esque space trying to destroy UFOs, so you can get the time stones, so you can change the future into a good future.
BT Dubs, my score on that last one was actually a 3.
Oh, okay.
What was your mark?
I give it a 3.5 because I'm sold on the fear factor of it. It sounds ominous. I will say it sounds ominous, and that's what you kind of want from a boss. Okay, so this is the special stage. You don't really need context of what it looks like. It's just think of it Sonic in a LSD world trying to destroy.
Well, there is the one with Eggman's face in the background.
That's still
The
LSD.
Mushroom Kingdom.
And just think of high speed Octane and try and use your good judgment when it comes to this. Oh, I thought it still said boss. Hold on, let me back it up. Yeah, this is the Japanese special stage.
It's the shooting star music. Sonic's take on it.
All right, that's a good enough, I think, sampling for that one. Ben?
3.5. It felt like Sonic's take on the shooting star theme from Mario World.
Okay.
Not sure what to think of it myself, so I'll just be fair and give it a 3.
To me, this would not be out of place in the modern Sonic song where you're boosting, and you have those situations like the part of the song where when you have the boost effect going on. I could definitely feel that from this. I'm gonna say it's very solid. I'm gonna be very forgiving, give it a 4. I kind of like this one. Okay.
Next time we should tier list like well-known boss music. Like we need to do like Sephiroth's One Winged Angel. Like,
Well, we wouldn't be able to play the
main thing.
entire thing of that one because of copyright. So just keep that in mind. Sephiroth.
Points to stream. It's like
Okay, so let's see. Where is it at? Ending version. Boom. Where's special stage at? Zone clear, speed up,
I
invisibility.
think they're the same in
Oh.
both versions.
No, they're not.
Yeah, it's not.
All right, that's a good sampling for that one. Ben.
It's not bad, and it definitely needs a whole lot more, but it doesn't sound too terrible at all. It just sounds like, again, where's the sauce?
Hmm.
Where is it? You gave me the plate, you gave me the garnish. Where's the fucking food? But again, not bad. So I'm gonna say 2.5.
Explodes.
3 again.
I'm gonna give it a 3, a low 3, like a 2.9. I mean, that's what I'm gonna get. I think it's not as good compared to the Japanese version. All right, we're almost done here, everybody, and you'll pretty much see. I'll give my final thoughts right before we wrap this up. Where is it? Don't exactly have one for the U.S. side. Okay, so the final ones we're gonna do is the zone clear music, and that is infamous for having completely different tonal shift. And let me see, Little Planet, blah blah blah, Cosmic, Act Clear. So this is the Japanese. When you beat the level, this is what plays when you hear it. Take a listen.
Nah, that's solid. Not too long.
Teleportation, yeah.
Kind of reminds me of a Kirby's Little Victor dance. But it's for Sonic, so I'm gonna say at least 4.5.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I actually like this a lot. Explodes.
It's definitely got the attitude. 3.5.
3.5. I give it a solid 4, and we're gonna go on a low note, everybody. This is the the zone clear for the American side.
Give me the B cup.
I see nothing wrong with it.
No, actually, nothing wrong with it at all. It's short and it's just short. Okay, that's the point.
But there's no
That was a whole
teleportation.
bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it felt like no, right there at the end. Sonic would have leapt in the air and he would have still framed it in slow motion. It's like, yeah.
That's as soon as Sonic handcuffs the perp. You just see you hear this. Oh yeah!
Turns towards the camera and jumps into the air and it freeze frames.
Yeah, they jump up the air with the chest bump. And it's with the credits.
Even the crook jumps for some reason.
Yeah.
The more you know, kid.
The person that he arrested was big for drug trafficking.
Mario?
No, Big the
It was
Cat.
Mario. You arrested Mario.
Sorry, Big the Cat. This is like Big the Cat gets arrested in this beat cop thing. Man, that sounds hilarious. I gotta write that down. Anyway, that will do it for our rating for today. That we pretty much
We
forewent
gotta go
Kakarot
out
and the other.
the closing version of Sonic Boom.
Closing ending version. Yeah, so let me just lower this down.
Oh god, it's gotta be better. It probably sounds better now with all the beat cop references.
Yeah, this is the ending of Sonic CD here. We're gonna play that one to end our thing off.
Oh.
The lyrics are slightly different too.
This feels like a proper ending so far. What's hilarious? As much as I gave a bad rap to the actual rap at the beginning of the Japanese side, it fits for the end. This fits better.
That's very good. So you just wait to hear what you think.
Find the power deep inside and make it happen. Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom. Keeps you running faster.
I'm sorry, this is set at a 4.5.
This is perfection.
Save the planet from disaster. Sonic Boom. Spinning through a world in motion. Sonic Boom. Take it all the way.
All right, that's enough of that. That was good. Sonic Boom will always have a good place in my heart. My parents know about Sonic Boom and how cheesy it is, and it's one of those things where you're embarrassed when you're younger.
It's alright. It's alright. It's alright.
It's one of those things. I don't know how you guys felt because gaming culture was a lot less respected back then. But when Sonic Boom was played, unironically because I liked it, I know a lot of my extended family, they were like, "Oh, that's garbage. That's not real music." And thing is, you start out embarrassed listening to songs, and when you get older, you're like, I don't care what people think. I'm gonna have this blaring out on the freeway. I don't care if people give me looks. This is an awesome song. It's corny, but I grew up with it and I like it, and that's kind of Sonic Boom in a nutshell for me. Don't know if you guys had similar experiences for that, but there's that. Sonic CD is not a very good game. I'm gonna be very clear with that.
True.
It's not a very good game. But what made it stand out is because of the soundtrack, the differences, of course, and what they kind of did with the Sonic world as early as they did. And this came out technically before Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So this is technically the third Sonic game that came out prior to that one. So Amy is
Canonically takes place second because Japan likes to be the first at everything.
yeah, of course, it's Japanese property. So, with that being said, everybody, that was our grueling scoring of each of these ones. We are going to be doing one more thing for tonight. We're going to skip Kakarot. We're going to skip the other games that we typically would and just do everything else with everyone here. And then we're going to call a day for that. Thank you guys for joining us. If you happen to be commenting, I could not see it. And if you guys disagree with me, that's tough toenails. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. And hopefully we'll do another tier list next month. And maybe somebody else might have a suggestion. Maybe like the top 10 Akiza quotes from Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know. So, other than that,
I feel like you're giving me research.
Other than that, everybody, we will see you next time. Until then, take care and have a good one. Bye-bye.